He had already made a decision. After this return, until Cai Er regains her lost 3 senses, he won't lead the team on missions anymore. He will stay in the holy city to accompany her through these tough times. Lin Xin, come over here for a moment. Long HaoChen called out to Lin Xin, who was diligently concocting potions not far away. Captain, what is it? Lin Xin's tools for potion making were carried with him, and to ensure he could concentrate on his work, Long HaoChen had specially set up a flat area for him to work in. Hearing Long HaoChen's call, Lin Xin hurriedly ran over. Captain, the results these few days have been good, although we faced many difficulties and dangers this time. We obtained better materials than I've gathered before. The conditions here are relatively rudimentary, so I haven't had the mindset to research new potions. However, I can still produce some of the potions I made before. My main focus is on concocting Grand Return Spirit Pills. I should be able to produce the first batch today. I estimate that 7 or 8 pills should be achievable. Just as Long HaoChen had mentioned, during this mission, every team member played an essential role. Lin Xin's potions often played a crucial role at critical moments, as everyone could see. Of course, Blast Spirit Pills and Bloodlust Pills have some side effects, but for this team, what's more important now are the Grand Return Spirit Pills. After all, the effects of the first 2 types of pills still linger. Producing more Grand Return Spirit Pills to distribute among the Soldier Level Number 4 Demon Hunting Squad members. Of course, they'll have to exchange merits for them. 1 pill for 100 merits, that's the price Lin Xin set. Well, according to him, it's a super low price. Lin Xin definitely has the nature of a merchant. Ultimately, he didn't collect any merits from the Soldier Level Number 4 Demon Hunting Squad members. However, in exchange for providing each of them with 3 Grand Return Spirit Pills, he deprived the Soldier Level Number 4 Demon Hunting Squad of the qualification to acquire all monster corpses. This includes the monster corpses they have already collected. Using the storage magic tools belonging to Lucy and others, aside from demon crystals, they have also acquired all of the monster corpses through this method. It's definitely a profitable exchange, but how much he truly gained, only Lin Xin knows. Long HaoChen nodded and said, I didn't call you over to ask about the progress of the potions. We're not knowledgeable in that area. Just handle it on your own. Lin Xin was taken aback, asking with confusion, Captain, then what did you call me for? Long HaoChen glanced at the others not far away, and lowered his voice, saying, I want to ask you, what's going on between you and my sister? These few days, you both have been acting strangely. Huh? Lin Xin was startled, almost jumping up, his face turning as red as a boiled shrimp. Is there really something? Long HaoChen was surprised. No. Lin Xin quickly explained. What could possibly be going on between me and Sister Li Xin? There's nothing at all, truly. Long HaoChen said irritably. Your acting is really not convincing at all. If there was a mirror, you'd see how your face is redder than a little girl's. Never mind, alright, I won't press you. You can go. I'll go ask my sister later. If I find out you've been bothering my sister, Lin Xin wore a wry smile and said, Captain, oh great Captain, please spare me. It's too embarrassing. I really don't want to say. Long HaoChen's expression turned serious, and he said, Lin Xin, my sister has reprimanded you, and it's her fault. However, our 2 teams are currently working together on missions. We need to help and trust each other. I don't want you to hold any grudges, otherwise, if we encounter danger again, it could very well lead to the annihilation of the entire group. Do you understand? Lin Xin couldn't hold it in anymore. Boss, it's not that serious. Why would I hold a grudge against Sister Li Xin? Long HaoChen looked at him directly, waiting for him to continue. Lin Xin stole a glance at the others, but ultimately stomped his foot and said, Fine, I'll tell you. Sister Li Xin took advantage of me. She kissed me forcefully. What? Long HaoChen had calculated various possibilities, but never expected this outcome. His exclamation was a bit loud, drawing the attention of others. Boss, lower your voice, or I won't be able to face anyone. Lin Xin's face turned embarrassed as he said, his face growing even redder. Long HaoChen's expression became somewhat unpleasant. Lin Xin, we don't mind your self-absorption, but you can't take it to this extreme, right? How did my sister end up kissing you? She's a young girl, and you're tarnishing her innocence. Lin Xin said with a wry smile. Boss, can I really lie to you? If it weren't for you, could I have joined our demon hunting squad? Listen to me explain. He really couldn't keep it hidden any longer, so he leaned in and whispered into Long HaoChen's ear, explaining the misunderstanding between him and Li Xin, and what happened between them later. He recounted the events in their entirety. After he finished, Long HaoChen's gaze also became somewhat dazed, as he looked at Li Xin, who was practicing not far away. He found it hard to put his thoughts into words for a moment. What was going on? Sis, you're quite bold. Lin Xin, afraid that Long HaoChen wouldn't believe him, mimicked Li Xin's actions at that time, holding the back of his head with his hand. Boss, look, Li Xin did this. She used one hand to hold the back of my head, and she's a knight. I'm just a mage, and I couldn't struggle even if I wanted to. And then, Seeing his anguished expression, Long HaoChen said in an annoyed tone. You took advantage, alright? My sister is a girl, and it was her first kiss. You benefited from it, what more are you dissatisfied with? Lin Xin muttered softly. Boss, I'm not dissatisfied with anything. But well, I didn't gain anything either. It was my first kiss too, what? Long HaoChen looked at him skeptically. Your first kiss? Do you remember how you were when we first met? Those auction girls were practically swooning over you. I can believe you're a flirt, but you still have a first kiss? I bet you've kissed 1,000 times. Lin Xin exclaimed in disbelief. Boss, I'm telling you the truth, I'm just a bit conceited, but I'm still pure and innocent. My grandpa is strict. If I really had some scandal with a girl, he wouldn't let me off the hook, and although I'm a bit older than you, I'm not even 20 yet. I'm not that precocious. If I were fooling around with girls all the time, could I become such a skilled potion master? Long HaoChen looked at him with an odd expression, then after a moment, he asked tentatively. So, what do you plan to do? Pretend like this never happened? Lin Xin said indignantly. This was my first kiss, my very first time. How can I act like it didn't happen? And it was taken from me forcefully. Long HaoChen rubbed his head and said, Alright, just go back to making potions. I can't help with this kind of thing. You figure it out on your own. I have only one request, don't hurt my sister. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Lin Xin nodded slightly, then suddenly lowered his voice and said, Actually, I kind of like older girls. Sister Li Xin is quite pretty. Boss, what do you think? If I were to pursue Sister Li Xin, do you think I stand a chance? Don't ask me about this, I don't know either. But if you try, you'll have a 50% chance. If you don't, there's no chance at all. If you're really interested, then go ahead and give it a try. Tonight, I'm going to the Moon Demon Clan to find us a way out. You can think about it for now. Lin Xin said. I've been thinking about it these days. I don't know why, but ever since Sister Li Xin kissed me forcefully, I've suddenly realized she's becoming more and more beautiful. I want to actively pursue her, but I don't know how to say it. I really have no experience in this, boss. Can you teach me? Long HaoChen said irritably. How am I supposed to teach you? You're inexperienced. Do I look experienced to you? Lin Xin said without hesitation. Of course you have experience. How old is Cai Er? Yet you managed to win her over. You definitely have experience, right? Get lost. Long HaoChen kicked Lin Xin with a smirk off his face, then held Cai Er, ignoring him. As their time together increased, Long HaoChen's understanding of Lin Xin also grew, whether it was appearance, personality, abilities, or family. He seemed suitable for Li Xin. If he was genuinely sincere, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It all depended on fate. He had no intention of meddling. He trusted that his sister would handle things well. The sun was setting in the west, and darkness slowly took control of the land. Long HaoChen silently left the valley, heading toward the distance. The cave of fearful wailing itself was within the range of the demon clan's central provinces. He had already marked the direction on the map, circling around the side of the mountain range, then rushing toward the central region of the central provinces. With the improvement of his cultivation, Long HaoChen's overall abilities had greatly increased. Although he wasn't riding Haoyu, he could run as fast as a galloping horse in the wilderness. He had now put on the Moon Demon Clan's magical eye again, and was wearing the clothes Yi had given him. Under the cover of the night, he flew toward his destination at high speed. The night was beautiful tonight, the night sky clear and serene, the stars shining brightly, and a waxing crescent moon emitting a gentle, hazy light. Amid the starlight's concealment, everything was bathed in a soft hue. Although Long HaoChen had left, his heart remained with Cai Er. He had given Haoyu a strict command this time, never to leave Cai Er's side no matter what, and in case of any danger, he could return to Cai Er's side immediately. He wouldn't allow anyone to harm Cai Er again. For Long HaoChen, the journey was not lonely. As he recalled the entire process of this mission, he reflected on the gains and losses. Without a doubt, this mission had been out of his control from the start, and had deviated from his control. The freelance merchant they were supposed to rely on had encountered major trouble. Subsequent to that came one battle after another. However, overall, they had been fortunate. At least no one had died until now. Arduous battles were what tested one's will and abilities the most. Long HaoChen believed that as long as they could return alive from this mission, whether it was commander level number 21 or soldier level number 4, both demon hunting squads would make significant progress. Moreover, the gains from this mission were considerable. They had hunted down many powerful demons, and he could easily calculate that the merit points earned by their commander level number 21, demon hunting squad through demon kills alone, had already surpassed 10,000. He couldn't determine the exact number right now. However, 10,000 was the most conservative estimate. The stronger their strength, the greater their sacrifices. Long HaoChen and Cai Er were prime examples of this. Especially Cai Er, who had defeated a demon lord of 7th rank, with her 5th rank strength in a one-on-one fight. This once again made Long HaoChen see the terror of the reincarnation spirit furnace. Long HaoChen had fully demonstrated the powerful strength a leader should possess. Both as a commander and a team core, he was close to perfection. And in this mission, the one who had gained the most was him. In the days of rest before, Long HaoChen had used a magic gem to detect his spiritual energy, checking his internal spiritual energy. Currently, he was already a 9th level Earth Knight, with an internal spiritual energy of over 3,700. Furthermore, the holy guiding spirit furnace clearly showed signs of the next evolution. Coupled with the light elemental Elfuting and the eternal melody necklace of unknown rank, Long HaoChen was confident that, as long as he was given a stable environment for cultivation, he could break through the bottleneck of a Radiant Knight in no more than 2 months. It's important to know that, from his breakthrough to the 5th rank until now, it hasn't even been half a year. Such a cultivation speed is even terrifying to him, and these aren't even his greatest gains. The greatest gain is the eternal slumber. Although he doesn't know yet what the Tower of Eternity will ultimately bring him, this tower left by a divine-level necromancer is probably comparable to divine artifacts. He must make sure to return alive. Long HaoChen unconsciously clenched his fist. As long as he's alive, the next time he enters the demon territory for a mission, he will definitely have the ability to fly. From the mountain range where the Cave of Fearful Wailing is located, to his destination for this journey, it's about nearly 400 miles. With his current speed, he should be able to arrive by daybreak. The area of the demon's central provinces is vast, situated on a plain, occupying nearly 1/10 of the demon-controlled territory, and it's the largest among all 24 provinces. The demon capital is located at the heart of the central provinces, but it's not called demon capital. Instead, it's called Heart City, derived from the heart of the demon god. The demon capital Heart City was originally the capital of a great human empire, but it was later captured and transformed by the demons, evolving into what it is now over thousands of years. Heart City is extremely massive, dwarfing any city within the Holy Temple Alliance, nearly equivalent to 20 exorcism passes in size. The Heart City is square in shape, with the Demon Emperor's Palace located at the heart of the city, serving as a city within the city itself. The Demon God Pillar ranked first, Demon God Emperor Fengxiu, is also situated within the Demon Emperor's Palace. Apart from the Demon Emperor's Palace, at the 4 corners of the Heart City, there are 4 massive palaces, each inhabited by the demon gods ranked 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Their respective demon god pillars are also within their palaces. These 5 most powerful demon god pillars are all located here, indicating the importance of Heart City to the entire demon race. When Long HaoChen saw this massive and terrifying city, it was already daylight, but due to the city walls being entirely black, he couldn't even see the dawn's light. Above this immense city, dark clouds loomed, remarkably distinct from the outside environment. Not a single ray of sunlight could illuminate within this city. From a distance, Long HaoChen could vaguely discern some vague black mist, seemingly constantly rising from within the city into the sky. Just by looking, he felt a palpable sense of oppression. The light attribute spiritual power within his body seemed to be heavily suppressed. The concentration of dark elemental energy in this place is at least 3 times greater than the outside. Slowing down his pace, Long HaoChen tidied up his clothes a bit, took out the token Yi had given him and held it in his hand, rubbed his cheek, letting his expression relax a bit. Then he confidently strode forward, towards the direction of the Heart City in the demon capital. The exhaustion from the night of sprinting needed recovery, and he couldn't summon the light elemental Elfuting, a presence akin to the sun that had helped him in the demon territory. Now, by slowing his pace, he was gradually recovering from physical fatigue, from seeing the Heart City to walking through the city gates. Long HaoChen spent a full half an hour. Heart City was truly massive, to the extent that every side of the city walls had as many as 10 gates, a phenomenon unparalleled in the history of the continent of gods and demons. Long HaoChen chose the eastern gate, where the Moon Demon clan was responsible for guarding. The 4 gates of Heart City are guarded respectively by the demon god clans ranked 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The eastern gate is the territory of the Moon Demon clan. In his current appearance, he appeared as a noble of the Moon Demon clan, at most slightly dusty. After presenting his token as a viscount of the Moon Demon clan, he was immediately respectfully escorted through the city gates by the guards, who were Moon Demon clan soldiers. However, Long HaoChen was sweating nervously, as even these lowest-ranking soldiers of the Moon Demon clan seemed to possess strength around the 4th rank, not inferior to the greater demons of the Demon clan. He couldn't help but think, if it weren't for Princess Yi having some human bloodline, perhaps when he met her, her strength wouldn't be just limited to the 5th rank. Walking calmly into the Heart City, Long HaoChen stopped in a relatively secluded corner, observing this central city of the demon race. The roads within the capital city of demons were remarkably wide, spacious enough that the large carriages like the one Yi used wouldn't feel crowded with 10 in parallel. Along the streets on both sides, shops lined up, many of them high-rise buildings, displaying quaint architectural styles, and even some traces of the glorious eras can be seen. In the architecture, 6,000 years have passed. While the demons brought great calamities to humanity, They were also gradually assimilating various knowledge from the human world, at first glance. This city seemed to be not significantly different from human cities, perhaps even more prosperous than any human city. But upon closer examination, it's a different story, as most of the buildings here are predominantly black, or at the very least, they have cool color tones. Although there are occasional humans on the streets, the majority are various kinds of demon species. Of course, low-ranking demon species like the Zhe Lin clan's dual-blade demons aren't visible here. What's more common are powerful beings. Clearly, being able to reside within the Heart City is a symbol of honor for any demon species. Is this the depth of the demon race? Long HaoChen sighed inwardly, as he saw at least 4 6th-rank experts among the passing demons on the street, and even a 7th-rank presence. Yet, as they walked the streets of the demon capital city, they appeared as common civilians without attracting undue attention. There was no spectacle of deference or crowds. After a brief observation, Long HaoChen didn't pause any longer and headed straight for his destination, with a map in hand. Upon entering the eastern gate, navigating through the nearly square-shaped city was foolproof. There was no way to get lost. The Heart City of Demons was indeed massive, so Long HaoChen took the nearest entrance. By the time he reached the front of the Moon Demon Palace, an hour had already passed. Even though he had some understanding of Heart City beforehand, standing in front of the Moon Demon Palace was still astonishing. Long HaoChen was still filled with shock. This was practically another small city. The deep purple high walls were more than 10 yards high, the wide palace walls merging seamlessly with the city walls forming an enormous square area. The palace walls were in a dark purple hue, and upon reaching this point, Long HaoChen could clearly feel a renewed surge of dark elemental energy in the air. The fluctuations of dark elemental energy here were twice as intense compared to other parts of the city. Even the great trial grounds of the Holy Alliance probably don't have a structure as colossal as this Moon Demon Palace. Apart from the Demon Emperor's Palace, there are 3 more such places in the Heart City. Long HaoChen suddenly felt somewhat powerless, faced with such a formidable demon capital. What kind of power would be needed to breach it? Can humans truly hope to defeat the demons completely one day? This thought flashed through his mind briefly, but his faith was resolute. He quickly regained his composure, approaching the entrance of the Moon Demon Palace. Long HaoChen simply took out his Viscount of the Moon Demon Clan token and waved it, then confidently walked inside. As a Viscount of the Moon Demon Clan, this title was effective not just within the clan, but across the entire demon race. Being a noble of the Moon Demon Clan, his status was revered. Only the Moon Demon Clan's leader, the Moon Demon God Agars, had the authority to issue him direct orders. The guards, upon seeing this young Moon Demon Viscount, quickly bowed in salute, without a hint of doubt about Long HaoChen's identity. Besides the token, even his appearance, which could be described as breathtakingly handsome, served as the best introduction. Within the Moon Demon Clan, the higher the status, the stronger the individual's power, and the more exquisite their appearance. Long HaoChen's appearance was likely even more impressive than that of the Moon Demon God Agars, and upon seeing his violet eyes and looks, they immediately stepped aside without hesitation, not daring to even glance at his swaying token. The Moon Demon Palace was vast, and Long HaoChen briskly followed the map Yi had given him. He simultaneously suppressed his aura completely. He was well aware of the dangers here. After all, the Moon Demon God ranked second among the 72 demon gods, and within the Moon Demon Palace, there would likely be no less than 10 9th-rank experts. If he were to be exposed here, his only option would be to immediately use the blood pact with Hao Yu to teleport away. He couldn't afford to linger, not even for a moment. Appearance had become the best passport. As Long HaoChen proceeded, he marveled at how universally revered he was by all the Moon Demon clansmen he encountered, regardless of gender, age, or strength. They instinctively showed deference, and even went as far as stepping aside and saluting him. Although Yu Yi had mentioned the importance of appearance among the Moon Demon clan, Long HaoChen hadn't expected its significance to be this profound. Regardless, it was a fortunate factor, sparing him potential complications. The Moon Demon Palace was divided into outer and inner courts. The outer court housed powerful Moon Demon clansmen, while the inner court was reserved for direct descendants of the Moon Demon God. In comparison to the open spaces of the outer court, the inner court truly resembled a palace. Upon reaching the entrance to the inner court, Long HaoChen was subjected to an examination, but his Viscount of the Moon Demon clan token swiftly granted him passage. The emblem representing his direct lineage on the token allowed him to pass through effortlessly. Stepping through the palace gate, Long HaoChen suddenly felt that even his breathing became somewhat difficult. The density of dark elemental energy here was too overwhelming, thick to the point of viscosity. Every inhalation seemed to bring a surge of dark elemental energy into his body, clashing vehemently with his own light elemental energy. This sensation was far from pleasant. Long HaoChen understood that if he were to remain here for an extended period, his cultivation would inevitably be continuously weakened. It seemed that the demon pillar of the moon demon god should be within this moon demon palace. He just didn't know where exactly. The majestic purple palace halls stretched and undulated, exuding an air of nobility, elegance, and solemnity. Just this inner court alone rivaled the scale of the holy city's alliance temple. Upon entering, Long HaoChen avoided looking around and quickly walked around from the side, bypassing the central palace, making several turns until he arrived at a quieter spot within the inner court. There was a relatively secluded residence, not too large, located amidst lush vegetation. This residence appeared more elegant and refined compared to the grandeur of other palaces. Halt! Do you not know this is the princess's chamber? How dare you trespass? Two tall and slender moon demon clan women blocked Long HaoChen's path. At first glance, Long HaoChen couldn't help but gasp. These two moon demon clan girls, in their early 20s, were both at the 6th rank in strength. Is this the result of their innate talent? Long HaoChen sighed inwardly. Although he knew this was their natural ability, he couldn't help feeling a hint of envy. Please hand over the token to the princess. Long HaoChen handed his Viscount of the Moon Demon Clan token over, then took a couple of steps back, and stood proudly. Seeing the token, the faces of the two Moon Demon Clan girls instantly softened. Please wait a moment, Viscount, one of them said. As she spoke, Long HaoChen suddenly felt an additional streak of purple moonlight in his line of sight. In the next moment, the girl's figure vanished. After a short while, as the moonlight brightened again, the girl reappeared where she had been standing before. Viscount, the princess requests your presence, all right? Long HaoChen nodded slightly, and walked into the palace with long strides. The two guarding Moon Demon Clan girls exchanged glances, and one of them whispered, "Wow, he's so handsome. This is the first time I've seen such a handsome Viscount. Could he be the future husband of our palace lord?" The other girl said with envy. "Maybe. Only someone as handsome and powerful can be a match for our princess. Look at his appearance, it's nearly flawless. I guess he's at least an 8th rank expert, and it shouldn't take too long for him to reach the 9th rank. He definitely isn't older than 50. The average age among the Moon Demon Clan is 500, so 50 is incredibly young for them. However, like the Abyssal Demon Dragon Clan, their ability to reproduce offspring is weakened." Adjusting his internal spiritual power, Long HaoChen confirmed his connection with Haoyu, before finally stepping into the palace in front of him.